Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today I'm going to go over my top 5 silver urn tanks for the entirety of all eras in Cold War. So jumping straight in, we have in 5th place the M636. The 636 was a season reward tank roughly 7 months ago. Can't remember what season that was, but it being the level 100 reward tank meant that you could pick it up at the time for 2,000 gold. So for that price, it's not game breaking, it's not overpowered, it's not as good as the E3, but it does have the 65% silver boost, and if you couple that with a 2x silver boost or any silver boost that you've got, you can have some very good silver earnings even if you have a mediocre game. If you're a beginner and all you've got access to is Era 1, the 636 is a good medium to pick up just for the silver boost. It might not be the best tank in the game, best premium in the game, but like I've said, if you've got access to Era 1 only and you need silver, just grind out a couple of games in this thing with your silver boost and you'll be rewarded far more than playing other tech tree tanks or other premiums. Number 4 on my list is the Object 292, Era 3. Yes, I've just said that it's a season reward tank isn't overpowered. Well, the 292 was a season reward tank, and it is overpowered. So it's either one or the other at this point. So the 292 is a very strong tank. It's got a very good gun. It's Era 3 and it has the 65% silver boost. So again, you can have some very good games in it. You can have some not so good games in it. It does all depend, but it has the 65% silver boost, and that is why it's number 4 on my list. Alright, number 3, we're jumping into Era 2 now, and this is a tank that I don't think I've praised enough because I actually quite like it now, and that is the H.I.S. The H.I.S is one of the G.I. Joe tanks, and when they first came into the game, I wasn't that fond of them because I thought they were ridiculous. I do still think they're ridiculous to an extent, but they're in the game now. What can we do about it? They're not going away. So you may as well use the 65% silver boost that it's got, and I like light tanks. So it's on the list because I've enjoyed playing it. The shell velocity is very good, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. So you can have some very good games in this thing, and again, couple that with a silver boost and you'll earn a lot more silver, like I mentioned before, in this tank than you would in other tanks. So if light tanks in Era 2 are your thing, check out the H.I.S. If you've got it, play it, because it's got that boost, and you might not have known that. I didn't until fairly recently, and the Arctic H.I.S also has one. So if you've got the Arctic H.I.S or the regular H.I.S, they both have 65% silver boosts. So play those if you want extra silver per game. Number 2 on my list is the FV4211. The FV4211 is a very, very good Era 2 heavy tank. So again, if you're in Era 2 and you don't fancy playing lights, you don't need to play either of the H.I.S variants, you can play the FV4211 because this was also a season tank, season reward tank, so you could get it for fairly cheap. It was overpowered, but Wargaming have probably about 6 months ago now, they balanced it. Well, not balanced it. They corrected it to what it always should have been since release. There was an error with it. It is now what it should be, and it is a well-balanced heavy tank. It's still pretty strong. It does get focus fired because it's a 4211. It's got that reputation of being a strong tank that needs to be taken out, but you can have some very good games in it. And it's got the 65% silver boost. So again, if you want that silver per game, play the 4211. And finally, we get to number 1. And it's a bit of a shame that this one is number 1, but again, it is what it is. You know, what can we do about it? Number 1 is the Wiesel. Yes, it is the Wiesel. I hate to say it, but this tank, for me anyway, is the best silver urn tank in the game. It's overpowered, it's fast, it's tiny, it hits hard, it's got great concealment, and it's got the 65% silver boost. I mean, the game that you're seeing me play in the background here, I think I earned 700,000 silver. Maybe more than that, I can't actually remember. But it was a lot. I earned a huge amount of silver from this game. And this game, from comparing the best out there and the worst, this was a good game. I've done better in the Wiesel, but this was a good game. And if RNG is on your side, if the matchmaker is on your side, you can have games like this back to back to back. And if you have your 2x silver boost on each one and you win, well, you can probably pull in at least 6 million silver in 10 games. So that's my top 5. But I will now caveat my whole list by saying that this video is recorded January 2024, before the silver nerf. So if you want these mega numbers, you want to do it now. On January 30th, Cold War economy is going to be adjusted. Silver earnings will be better than World War II, but they're not going to be as good as they are now. So if you're watching this after January 30th, then the numbers you've been seeing on the screen here, we're just going to have to put those in the history book. If you're watching this before January 30th, then get out there and earn as much silver as you can before the economy of Cold War is changed. That's all I've got for this one, guys. So if you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.